Todd Chrisley's son suing Tennessee County and deputies. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. Todd Chrisley recently made headlines when he and his wife received an early release from prison thanks to a presidential pardon. However, another member of the family has made headlines for their own legal battle. Reportedly, Chrisley has filed a lawsuit concerning authorities in Tennessee County. One of Todd Chrisley's sons has recently filed a lawsuit. Todd Chrisley and his family became known to audiences through the USA Network series Chrisley Knows Best. Back in 2022, Todd and his wife Julie were convicted of a variety of charges, including bank fraud and tax evasion. However, the two were released back in May following a presidential pardon from President Donald Trump. Since then, Todd and Julie have been sharing their story with various outlets, including their own podcast series, Chrisley Confessions 2.0. Throughout their lives together, Todd and Julie have 3 children, Chase, Grayson, and Savannah. In addition, Todd has 2 children from a previous marriage, Kyle and Lindsay. News has come out that Todd's son Kyle and his wife, Ashley, have filed a lawsuit concerning his aggravated assault arrest in September 2024. According to People, the suit, which is against Rutherford County and 2 sheriff deputies, is for $1.7 million. According to court documents, the suit claims that Kyle was unfairly arrested and was ultimately punished for calling for help. Kyle's lawyer, Wesley Clark of Brazil Clark, LLC, also released the following statement. Our hopes for this lawsuit are accountability and change because no family should have to endure what the Chrisley family endured in this terrifying scenario. The suit claims the victim was arrested over the aggressor. As the lawsuit claimed, an angry mechanic showed up at the door back on September 9, 2024, threatening violence. Using his car, the suit accused the mechanic of ramming their SUV and nearly running Kyle over in front of multiple neighbors. It was ultimately claimed that the victim was arrested instead of the aggressor. As the suit continued, authorities were alleged to have disregarded eyewitnesses, overlooked available video footage, and ignored Tennessee's self-defense law. The suit also addressed the mechanic's claim that Kyle had stabbed him with a knife. Noting that Kyle himself denied this, it was also mentioned that a witness also denied seeing a knife at the scene. In addition, the suit suggested that Kyle's arrest might have been influenced by his family status. As it continued, authorities allegedly appeared eager to arrest Chrisley. They were then accused of treating the encounter as an opportunity to make headlines by arresting a well-known figure. Kyle's legal team is requesting a jury trial in addition to $1.7 million in damages and legal fees. Kyle's criminal case is also still pending. The Chrisley family has faced years of headlines ranging from reality television fame to high-profile court battles, and now another chapter is unfolding as Todd Chrisley's son has taken legal action against a Tennessee county and several deputies, alleging misconduct, abuse, and violation of his constitutional rights. The lawsuit, which has already started to draw national attention, is positioned to be one of the most closely watched legal battles connected to the family since Todd and Julie Chrisley's federal tax and fraud convictions and subsequent prison sentences. This time the spotlight is on a new front as questions are raised about the role of local law enforcement, how celebrity families are treated in small towns, and whether justice is equally applied. The complaint filed in federal court lays out a detailed account of what the plaintiff describes as a disturbing encounter with sheriff's deputies in Tennessee. According to his attorneys, he was pulled over under questionable circumstances, and what should have been a routine interaction quickly spiraled into an incident that he says left him physically injured, emotionally shaken, and publicly humiliated. His legal team is arguing that the deputies involved engaged in reckless and unlawful behavior and that the county failed in its duty to properly train, supervise, and discipline officers under its command. At the heart of the suit are allegations that his civil rights were violated, and that the actions taken against him were not only unnecessary but also malicious. While the lawsuit is still in its early stages, the Chrisley name guarantees that every filing, every hearing, and every public statement will be closely dissected. The family is no stranger to scandal or scrutiny. But this case differs in that it is not about business ventures, finances, or television contracts. It is about the power of law enforcement and the accountability of local government entities. The plaintiff's attorneys have emphasized that this is not about celebrity privilege, but rather about a citizen's right to fair treatment under the law. They maintain that if this could happen to someone from a family in the public eye, it raises serious concerns about how ordinary residents are being treated behind closed doors without cameras or reporters paying attention. The lawsuit names both the deputies directly involved and the county itself, claiming that systemic failures allowed the misconduct to occur. The filing argues that the sheriff's department cultivated an environment in which abuses of power could flourish unchecked, and that deputies acted with confidence that they would face little or no consequences. It further alleges that the plaintiff was targeted in part because of his connection to a famous family whose troubles have long been a source of gossip in the region. His lawyers argue that deputies were more interested in making headlines or settling personal grudges than in carrying out their duties fairly. In response, officials from the county have remained tight-lipped. A spokesperson for the sheriff's office has declined to comment on ongoing litigation, but has stressed that the department stands by its officers and is prepared to defend them in court. Privately, however, her sources familiar with the case have acknowledged that the allegations are being taken seriously and that county leaders are aware of the potential fallout, both legal and reputational, if the case gains traction. In small communities, the line between law enforcement officials and local residents is often blurred, and the added element of celebrity makes the situation even more combustible. Observers note that this lawsuit comes at a particularly sensitive time for the Chrisley family. With Todd and Julie still serving their respective prison sentences, the family has worked hard to maintain public visibility and keep their brand alive through podcasts, interviews, and public statements. For one of the children to now be locked in a legal battle against law enforcement shifts the narrative once again, reminding fans and critics alike that controversy seems to follow the Chrisleys wherever they go. For supporters, this lawsuit represents a fight for justice and an attempt to hold those in power accountable. For detractors, it serves as another example of the family finding themselves entangled in conflict. Legal experts say the case could hinge on body camera footage, dash-cam video, and eyewitness testimony. If video evidence supports the plaintiff's claims, the county could face a difficult defense and possibly an expensive settlement. On the other hand, if footage shows deputies acted within the bounds of their training and authority, the lawsuit may be dismissed or significantly weakened. Discovery will play a critical role as attorneys on both sides attempt to reconstruct the events of that day and determine whether the force used was justified or excessive. If the plaintiff prevails, the county could face financial penalties, reforms to its sheriff's office, and lasting reputational damage. Even if the case is settled quietly, the lawsuit may inspire other residents to come forward with complaints or spark internal reviews of departmental practices. If the county successfully defends the deputies, however, the Chrisley family could face another blow to its credibility, and critics may claim that they attempted to weaponize the legal system for personal gain. Either way, the case is likely to unfold over many months with motions, hearings, depositions, and possibly a trial. For the Chrisleys, it is another test of resilience in a period already defined by hardship and scrutiny. For Tennessee officials, it is a challenge that could expose weaknesses in local governance or reinforce confidence in their law enforcement institutions. And for the wider public, it is a reminder that the issues at the heart of this lawsuit, accountability, power, and the pursuit of justice, remain as urgent and contested as ever. Have you been following this story? What do you think about the suit? Make sure you come back to TV Shows Ace for all the latest reality TV and celebrity news. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.